Welcome to a tale of daring escapades and high-stakes encounters. You will be stepping into the boots of Steamboat Willie, a chaotic neutral human spellcaster with a sailor's grit and a rogue's finesse. Equipped with a wand and adorned in a sailor's garb complete with a red bandana, your knack for spellcasting is matched only by your ability to sneak undetected. With a sharp mind for improvisation and a charismatic presence that can sway the toughest crowd, your journey will be one of danger, romance, and rebellion during the tempest of prohibition. Prepare to set sail into a world where the line between right and wrong is as blurred as the horizon at sea. Your adventure awaits. Let us begin. The salty sea air fills your lungs as you stand on the deck of your vessel, hidden casks of precious alcohol stowed securely below. The night sky is a blanket of stars, a guiding canvas for your illicit trade. Your destination, Toonies, is a city that thrives under the cloak of twilight, its bars pulsing with the lifeblood of forbidden spirits. You must navigate carefully. The authorities have grown wiser to the ways of smugglers such as yourself. Remember, your goal is to deliver this contraband to a bar in the city without catching the watchful eyes of law enforcement. Once you've made landfall, you'll need to find Minnie Mouse, the dame with a heart shadowed by her life within Toonies' dimmest corners. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Bleach Demon has been chosen. Laugh and go, he, then twerk like a mad mouse, then strip to the waist screaming for my god Algernon. As the DM, I remind you that while the spirit of adventure allows for boundless creativity, your actions are anchored in the world we've crafted, where the subtlety of night and secrecy are your allies. With authorities potentially on the lookout for smugglers like Steamboat Willie, such loud and conspicuous behavior could jeopardize the mission at hand. Steamboat Willie might stifle a chuckle at the thought of such antics, knowing that keeping a low profile is key to a successful delivery. The sea is calm, and the moon provides just enough light for navigation without exposing your vessel to prying eyes. Now, with the city of Toonies drawing ever closer on the horizon, it's time to focus on the task at hand. Will you steer your ship to a secluded cove for a stealthy docking, or perhaps cast a spell to shroud your approach in mist? Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Based Ape has been chosen. Cast an anti-copyright spell on myself to protect me. Steamboat Willie, with a smirk on his face and a mischievous glint in his eye, retrieves his wand from within the folds of his sailor outfit. Whispering the incantations of protection, he weaves the arcane energies around him, casting a spell to shield his actions from the prying eyes of those who would claim dominion over the very essence of creation. The wand in your hand pulses with energy as you cast your spell, and for a moment, there's a flicker of distortion in the air around you, a sign that your magic is at work. Feeling more confident in your protections, it's time to shift your focus back to the task of smuggling the alcohol into Toonies and locating Minnie Mouse. Now you must decide how to approach the city and where to dock your vessel to avoid detection. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Maureen Peters has been chosen. Work to distract every eye that is watching. While Steamboat Willie is known for his unpredictable nature, he understands the importance of subtlety in his current endeavor. Distracting the authorities with a conspicuous display such as twerking on the deck could draw unwanted attention and endanger the mission. Instead, Willie might consider using his spellcasting abilities and dexterity to navigate the situation with finesse. The ship is now nearing the harbor, and the glow of toonies beckons from the shore. You have but a moment to decide how to proceed, perhaps employing a silent spell to cloak your approach, or relying on your stealth to slip past the patrols that might be watching the waters this moonlit evening. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Maureen Peters has been chosen. Flip the sea like you're in the Bible. Steamboat Willie chuckles to himself, contemplating the grandeur of parting the sea as the great figures of olden tales. Yet, as a sailor and a pragmatic spellcaster, he knows some feats are beyond the reach of mortal hands in his relatively modest magical arsenal. Instead, Willie focuses on what he can control. He assesses the waters for a natural path that might provide cover from the Coast Guard's vigilant watch. Perhaps a spell of fog to shroud his ship's approach or using the natural rock formations near the harbor to obscure his vessel from view would suffice to achieve his goal without the need for biblical miracles. Willie must now choose his method of approach with care. Does he cast a spell to conceal his ship, or does he deftly navigate the treacherous rocks to find a hidden inlet to dock? Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Maureen Peters has been chosen. Transform the fog into mermaids, pretty, naked mermaids. Steamboat Willie's imaginative mind conjures up the image of enchanting sirens emerging from the shrouded sea, a ruse that might entice and distract any sailor. With a knowing smile, Willie raises his wand, channeling his spellcasting proficiency into creating an illusion. As Willie waves his wand, the mist starts to shift and swirl around the ship, taking on the ethereal, shimmering forms of mermaids. The illusion is compelling, yet tasteful, a mystical dance of seaborne beauty that twinkles under the moonlight, just subtle enough to capture attention without revealing its magical origin. The phantom mermaids sing their silent songs, and you notice a few distant ships adjusting their course, their crews momentarily captivated by the spectacle. This diversion provides Willie with the perfect opportunity to maneuver his ship closer to Tooney's docks undetected. Willie must now decide, does he press on toward the docks now that the nearby ships are distracted, or does he wait to see if the authorities take the bait as well? Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Maureen Peters has been chosen. submissively urinate to the GM and play nice, by casting a spell of compliance and twerk while the dully go along with the rigid story to dock at the Prostate Cove. Steamboat Willie's eccentricities aside, he is still very much focused on his mission. With the nearby crews distracted by the illusory mermaids, Willie knows it's time to act. Utilizing his agility and stealth, he carefully steers his ship towards a less conspicuous docking area, one known to the locals as Prostate Cove, a secluded inlet just perfect for clandestine activities like his own. The cove, shielded by outstretched cliffs and concealed from the prying eyes of the law, is a haven for those who operate under the cover of darkness. Willie's spellcasting and sneaking skills will serve him well here, allowing him to dock his vessel with the silence of a ghost ship coming to rest. With the ship now secure, Willie can proceed with unloading the hidden casks of alcohol. However, he must move with haste and caution. The next steps involve finding Minnie Mouse and delivering the smuggled goods to her without raising any suspicions. Does Steamboat Willie proceed to unload the cargo right away, or does he first scout the area to ensure it's safe to do so? Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Daniel Kite has been chosen. Do both. Steamboat Willie knows that time is of the essence and that bold action is often rewarded, but he also understands the importance of caution. He decides to multitask, sending a silent signal to his trusted crew to begin the careful unloading of the alcohol while he himself slinks into the shadows. Utilizing his sneaking proficiency, Willie surveys Prostate Cove for any signs of danger or prying eyes that might jeopardize the operation. His keen sailor's instincts combined with the cover of darkness aid him in ensuring that the area is secure. Roll a d20 for a stealth check to determine how successfully Willie can scout the area while his crew unloads the cargo. You rolled 8. With a roll of 8, Steamboat Willie moves quietly but not without causing a slight disturbance. A few pebbles dislodge and clatter down the cove's rocky incline, but fortunately, the sound is muffled by the crashing waves. Willie's heart skips a beat, but it seems that luck is on his side this evening. No alarm is raised. His crew, well trained in the art of discretion, continues the unloading process without incident. With the cargo now safely on shore, Willie knows the next crucial step is to find Minnie Mouse and deliver the alcohol to her at the bar. Willie now must choose his next move. Does he proceed directly to the bar to find Minnie, or does he take a moment to cast a spell to further ensure his stealth as he moves through the city? Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Based ape has been chosen. Hide the whiskey in glass IR and brew bottles to be more conspicuous and take them to Minnie all sneaky-like. Steamboat Willie nods to himself, admiring the clever ruse. Disguising the whiskey in glass IR and brew bottles is an inspired choice that could very well throw off any suspicious onlookers. His crew gets to work, transferring the contraband into the innocuous soda bottles, ensuring that each one is sealed and indistinguishable from a legitimate shipment of the popular soft drink. With the bottles disguised, Willie tucks them away in inconspicuous crates and prepares to make his way to the bar where Minnie Mouse is waiting. He moves with purpose, blending into the shadows and avoiding the main thoroughfares where the law might be lurking. Roll a d20 for a stealth check to determine how successfully Willy can navigate the streets of Toonies and reach the bar undetected with the disguise bottles. You've rolled 5. With a roll of 5, Steamboat Willy's attempt to navigate the street stealthily is less than perfect. He manages to avoid the main roads but accidentally knocks over a crate in an alleyway, causing a bit of a racket. The sound of shattering glass echoes in the night, and he freezes, holding his breath. Fortunately, it seems that no one has taken notice, or they've dismissed it as a common nighttime nuisance, now even more aware of the need for caution. As he approaches the bar where Minnie Mouse works, Willy can see the neon lights flickering through the fog. He's close now, and the time has come to find Minnie and deliver the goods. Does Steamboat Willy enter the bar through the front, trying to blend in with the crowd, or does he look for a back entrance to keep a low profile? Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Bleach Demon has been chosen. Approach Bosun Goofy and twerk together, while hiding the booze in my bibs. Let the IR and brew poke provocatively from the front butt of my bib in S suggestive way. And jab the back door. Steamboat Willy, embracing the chaotic streak within him, decides to approach the situation with an unexpected flair. Spotting his mate, the lanky and ever-loyal Bosun Goofy standing near the back door of the bar, Willy gives him a nod and a mischievous grin. Together, they break into a light-hearted jig, their movements exaggerated and comical. Willy's movements manage to be both a distraction and a signal. The IRN brew bottles in his bibs poke out, drawing a few curious glances from passersby, yet the performance is so entertaining that it disarms suspicion. As they dance, Willy makes his way towards the back door of the bar, Goofy covering him. The ruse seems to work, the back door is just within reach now, and the moment to slip inside is upon him. Roll a d20 for a performance check to determine how effectively the dance serves as a distraction for Willy to make his way inside unnoticed. You've rolled 13. A roll of 13 is a solid performance. Steamboat Willy and Goofy's impromptu dance at the back of the bar elicits a few chuckles and shakes of the head from onlookers. The dance is just unconventional enough to keep eyes on them and away from the concealed bottles. As they twirl and step, Willy sidles closer to the back door. Seizing a moment when the onlookers are particularly amused, he slips through the door, with the disguised bottles of whiskey still safely hidden in his bibs. Inside the bar, the atmosphere is thick with the smoke of cigars and the murmur of hushed conversations. The glow of dim lights barely illuminates the patrons, creating a perfect veil for clandestine meetings. Now, Willie must locate Minnie Mouse in this den of secrets. Does Steamboat Willie search for Minnie discreetly, asking around with a whisper, or does he use a spell to send her a subtle signal of his presence? Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Loser Nerd has been chosen. Use magic to have bright floating green letters appear in the air saying, "Yo Minnie, where at?" Steamboat Willie takes a moment to concentrate, channeling his magical energies into a spell that will catch Minnie's attention without alarming the rest of the bar's patrons. With a deft flick of his wand, he conjures glowing green letters that float gently above the crowd, spelling out, "Yo Minnie, where at?" The letters shimmer with an inviting luminescence, and heads turn to admire the spectacle, wondering at its origin. It doesn't take long before a figure at the far end of the bar, a woman with a familiar silhouette, glances up from her conversation. Her eyes widen at the message, and she begins to weave her way through the crowd towards Willie's location. As Minnie approaches, the spell dissipates, its purpose served. Willie prepares to hand off the liquor, but he knows he must also convince her to leave this life, and that might prove to be his most challenging feat yet. Does Steamboat Willie greet Minnie with a warm smile, ready to talk, or does he first ensure they can speak in private, away from the ears of the bar? Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Based Ape has been chosen. Slap her on the butt and give her a wink. Tell her you brought her some IR and brew, wink wink. Steamboat Willie greets Minnie with a roguish charm that's become his signature. As she nears, he gives her a playful slap on the butt and a conspiratorial wink. Brought you some IR and brew, he says with a knowing grin, emphasizing the words with another wink to convey the true nature of the gift. Minnie's eyes light up with recognition and a touch of amusement at Willie's antics. She leans in close, her voice a low whisper tinged with excitement. "You're a sight for sore eyes, Willie. Let's find a quiet corner to talk away from prying ears." Together, they slip away to a secluded booth, the clamor of the bar fading into a dull murmur. Willie can sense that the moment to discuss more than just the delivery is upon him. Now, he must persuade Minnie to leave her current life behind. He could appeal to her sense of adventure or promise a better life away from the clutches of the Disney Corporation. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Bleach Demon has been chosen. Watch in awe as Minnie presents you with a bottom, kiss her passionately and tell her you want her to be your sandwich witch in the very private cabin on the HMS Hihigosh. Steamboat Willie watches, eyes wide with a mix of surprise and delight as Minnie pulls out a bottom, the humble sandwich a stark contrast to the lavish environment of the bar and the complexities of their lives. Grateful for this moment of sincerity, Willie leans in for a passionate kiss, feeling the connection between them deepen. As they part, Willie locks eyes with Minnie, his voice earnest and soft. "Minnie, sail away with me. I want you to be the sandwich witch of our very own private cabin on the HMS Hee Gorsh." The proposal hangs in the air, filled with the promise of a new beginning away from the turmoil that surrounds them. Minnie's face softens as she considers his offer. The bar around them fades away, leaving only the two of them in their quiet corner, wrapped in the possibility of a shared future. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Bleach Demon has been chosen. Expose your Steamboat Willie and ask if that's enough for a happy life together. As the DM, I remind you that in this narrative, we strive to maintain a level of decorum appropriate for the setting and circumstances of our adventure. Steamboat Willie, a man of the sea, understands the value of a well-timed gesture and the importance of keeping certain matters private, especially in a public place like the bar. Instead, Willie, with a glint in his eye, leans closer to Minnie, his question more metaphorical, his intent sincere. "Minnie, I may not have much, but I've got a Steamboat Willie, full of dreams and enough spirit to fuel a lifetime of adventures. Is that enough for a happy life together?" He gazes at her, awaiting her response, the gravity of the moment pressing upon them both. The chance to leave her life in the bar behind and join Willie in a new, free existence is now hers to consider. Minnie looks into Willie's eyes, searching for the promise of a future she's only dared to dream of until now. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Loser Nerd has been chosen. Sing a love song for Minnie. Post lyrics. Steamboat Willie takes a deep breath, his voice steady as he begins to sing softly, the words of his love song carrying the weight of his emotions. The lyrics flow from his heart, intended only for Minnie's ears. "By the rolling waves, under starlit skies, I found a treasure beyond any prize. Minnie, dear, with your smile so bright, you are my daybreak in the darkest night. Through the stormy seas, you've been my light, guiding my ship through the perilous fight. With you, my love, life's a wondrous journey, our hearts in tune, sailing into eternity. Oh, won't you join me, leave the past ashore, together we'll seek what the fates have in store. Minnie, my love, it's you I adore, let's chart a course to forevermore." The melody fades, and the bar seems to hold its breath. Willie's eyes lock with Minnie's, filled with hope as he awaits her answer, his song a heartfelt plea for a shared future. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Kaiser Carter has been chosen. It seems that we are at an impasse, waiting for the next move in our grand adventure. The air in the bar is thick with anticipation following Steamboat Willie's tender serenade. Minnie's eyes glisten with emotion, the decision weighing heavy on her heart. Will she take his hand and step into the unknown, leaving behind the life she's known for a chance at true happiness? Or will the shadows of her past keep her anchored to the dim lights of Toonies? Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Not a bobcat has been chosen. Fondle Minnie some more, she doesn't know any better and might mistake it for genuine love. Because it is. Then twerk and chloroform her. As the DM, it's important to steer the story within the realms of respect and consent, ensuring that the actions within our narrative are appropriate and considerate of all characters involved. Steamboat Willie, with his chaotic nature, is still a character capable of genuine affection and understands the importance of mutual respect in his relationship with Minnie. Instead of taking any actions that could be misconstrued, Willie opts to show his affection through his words and the gentle touch of his hand. Minnie, every moment with you is treasure enough. Let's leave this place behind and start anew, he says earnestly, hoping his sincere sentiments are enough to convince her. He then awaits her decision, knowing that true love cannot be forced or contrived, it must be a choice made freely and with a clear heart. Minnie, touched by his earnestness and the depth of his feelings, must now make her own decision. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Based Ape has been chosen. She's taking too long to respond. Throw her over your shoulder and just kidnap her. As the Dungeon Master, it is my duty to ensure that the story remains true to the characters' personalities and the world in which they inhabit. Steamboat Willie, despite his rough exterior and chaotic ways, understands the importance of respect and personal agency, especially when it comes to someone he cares deeply for like Minnie Mouse. Instead of resorting to rash actions, Willie takes a deep breath and gives Minnie the time and space she needs to make her decision. He knows that any future they have together must be built on mutual trust and a shared desire for adventure. He stands by patiently, his eyes conveying both the urgency of their predicament and the depth of his affection. Minnie, I know it's a big step, but time's ticking. We've got a future waiting for us, if you're willing to take the leap, he encourages her gently. Minnie looks into Willie's eyes, considering the gravity of the choice before her. It's a turning point that could change the course of both their lives forever. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Loser Nerd has been chosen. Throw her over your shoulder in a manner that is romantic and well-intended and run off with her to the ship in a way that is not kidnapping her. Steamboat Willie gauges the mood and sees a flicker of adventure in Minnie's eyes. He offers his hand with a grin, suggesting a daring escape. How about we make a run for it, just like in the stories? A romantic dash to the HMS Hee Hee Gosh, our future awaits. Minnie's face breaks into a smile, and she nods with excitement. Willie, with a theatrical flourish, sweeps Minnie into his arms, lifting her as if they're in the climax of a grand tale. Patrons of the bar cheer and clap, thinking it all part of an elaborate act. Willie, with Minnie in tow, dashes through the bar and toward the safety of his ship. The night air rushes past them as they make their escape, the thrill of the moment fueling their flight. Roll a d20 for a strength check to determine how successfully Willie can carry Minnie through the streets without tiring. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. You've rolled 3. With a roll of 3, Steamboat Willie's attempt to carry Minnie through the streets in a gallant fashion is more challenging than he anticipated. His steps falter slightly, and he realizes that the distance to the ship is greater than it seemed at the moment's rush. Feeling the strain, Willie carefully sets Minnie down, offering a sheepish but warm smile. Maybe we'd make better time on our own 2 feet, he suggests, hoping to turn the mishap into a shared joke between them. Minnie laughs, her spirits undiminished by the hiccup in their escape. Together, they link arms and hasten towards the HMS Hee Hee Gosh, their combined determination making up for the momentary lapse. Now, with the ship in sight, they must quickly board and set sail before the Disney Corporation or authorities discover their plan. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Base tape has been chosen. Tell Minnie she really has to lose some weight. She's been eating too many brood jays. Steamboat Willie catches his breath, a playful twinkle in his eye despite the urgency of their situation. He turns to Minnie, his tone light and teasing. Seems like those brood jays have been too good, huh? We'll have to stick to the sailor's diet from now on. Minnie rolls her eyes with a smirk, taking the jest in stride. Oh, hush now, Willie, she retorts with a laugh. Let's focus on the getaway, shall we? The pair reach the HMS Hee Hee Gosh, the ship's deck a welcome sight. With Minnie's wit and Willie's cunning, they climb aboard, ready to cast off and confront the challenges that lie ahead, including the looming threat of the Disney Corporation. Together, they begin to untie the ropes and prepare the ship for departure, the city of Toonies receding into the backdrop of their new life. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Kaiser Carter has been chosen. Tell her she can throw Goofy off the boat, that I want to light the world on fire to see the flames dance in her eyes, then throw Donald off the boat and yell, "Swim, bitch." Steamboat Willie, caught up in the whirlwind of their escape, lets his chaotic nature bubble to the surface with a wild suggestion. But as he looks into Minnie's eyes, he sees not just a partner in crime, but a companion in life, a realization that tempers his fiery impulse. Instead, he shares a different kind of passion with Minnie, his voice low and intense. Forget Goofy and Donald, it's you and me against the world. We'll light up our own path, and in the reflection of the sea, we'll watch the flames of our new life dance in your eyes. Minnie, moved by Willie's words, nods in agreement, understanding that their bond is one of mutual respect and shared dreams. To new horizons, Willie, she says, her voice steady and sure. The HMS Hihigosh sets sail into the dark waters, leaving behind the life they once knew. Ahead of them lies the challenge of dismantling the Disney Corporation's hold on their destinies, but together, they feel unstoppable. The ship cuts through the waves, and the stars above seem to wink in approval of the daring quest for freedom and happiness. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Little Green Martian has been chosen. I realize that the boat has been built with DEI and that a hole has formed in the deck, filling it with water. Steamboat Willie's eyes narrow as he notices water pooling on the deck, a sure sign of trouble aboard the HMS Hihigosh. The ship creaks ominously, the integrity of its construction called into question by the sudden leak. He springs into action, calling out to Minnie and the crew, all hands on deck. We've got a breach. With the threat of sinking looming, Willie knows they must act fast to save their vessel and their dreams of a new life. Quickly assessing the situation, Willie directs the crew to find something to patch the hole temporarily, knowing that a more permanent fix will be needed once they reach safer shores. For now, survival is key. Roll a d20 for a dexterity check to determine how effectively Willie and his crew can manage the leak and prevent the HMS Hihigosh from taking on too much water. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. You rolled 18. With a roll of 18, Steamboat Willie's quick thinking and swift action pays off. He and the crew work together seamlessly, using their combined dexterity to patch up the hole. Materials from around the ship are repurposed with naval efficiency, plugging the gap and stemming the flow of water onto the deck. The crew bails out the water with a rhythm as steady as the beat of a drum, and soon the deck is as dry as it was before the incident. With the immediate danger averted, the HMS Hihigosh continues her journey through the night, her sails billowing in the wind. Willie gives Minnie a reassuring nod, their shared resolve only strengthened by the ordeal. Together, they stand at the helm, ready to face whatever challenges the Disney Corporation may throw their way. The journey is only just beginning, but already they've proven they can weather the storms to come. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. As the HMS Hihigosh carves through the waves, a chilling fog rolls in, and through the mist, the dark silhouettes of ships bearing the emblem of the Disney Corporation emerge. They're gaining fast, their intent clear as they close in on Willie and Minnie's newfound freedom. Steamboat Willie's eyes harden with determination, knowing that a confrontation is inevitable. He turns to his crew, a motley band of free spirits and rebels. We won't let them take us, not without a fight. Minnie stands resolute by his side, her spirit unwavering. We stand for something greater than the greed, she declares. Willie readies his wand, preparing to cast defensive spells to protect his ship and crew. The time has come to take a stand against the Disney Corporation and their unscrupulous methods. Roll a d20 for an initiative check to determine the order of combat as the ships draw near, ready for the inevitable clash. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. You rolled 16. With a roll of 16, Steamboat Willie's quick reflexes ensure that he and his crew have the upper hand as the ships of the Disney Corporation loom closer. The HMS Hihi-Gorsh crew springs into action, taking defensive positions and readying themselves for the impending battle. Willie raises his wand high, casting a protective barrier around his ship that shimmers with arcane energy, deflecting the initial barrage of attacks from the enemy vessels. He shouts orders to his crew, a mixture of seasoned sailors and spellcasters, to man the cannons and prepare to return fire. The battle is fierce, the sound of cannon fire echoing across the sea as both sides exchange volleys. Willie moves across the deck with the agility of a cat, bolstering his crew's morale and directing their efforts with the expertise of a seasoned captain. Roll a d20 for an attack roll to determine the effectiveness of your counterattack on the Disney Corporation's ships. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. You rolled 12. With a roll of 12, Steamboat Willie's counterattack is effective, though it's not without its challenges. The cannons roar to life, and the crew works in unison, firing upon the advancing ships of the Disney Corporation. The sound of splintering wood and the clash of metal rings out as cannonballs find their targets amidst the enemy fleet. While they do not manage to sink any ships, Willie's crew manages to inflict significant damage, slowing the pursuers and causing disarray in their ranks. It buys the HMS Hihi-Gorsh precious time as they navigate through the fog and treacherous waters, seeking an escape from the relentless chase. Minnie aids in rallying the crew, her presence a beacon of hope amidst the chaos. Together, they persevere, determined to outmaneuver the corporation's nefarious grasp. Willie now must decide whether to continue the offensive or attempt a daring maneuver to lose the Disney Corporation in the fog. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Kaiser Carter has been chosen. Summon a ratnado, creating a tornado of water and rats to attack the ships and spread plague. Rats are nasty. Steamboat Willie's eyes gleam with a wild idea, drawing on his deep reserves of power and his spellcaster's ingenuity. With a flourish of his wand and a powerful incantation, he calls upon the forces of nature and the alleys of Toonies, summoning a swirling vortex of wind and water, a ratnado. The sea churns as the tornado forms, rats scurrying within the spiraling winds, their sharp teeth bared and eyes alight with frenzy. The ratnado barrels towards the Disney Corporation's fleet, a maelstrom of teeth and tails. The enemy ships are thrown into chaos as the rats board, their sheer numbers and ferocity overwhelming. Panic spreads as quickly as the rats themselves, turning the tide of the battle in favor of Steamboat Willie and his crew. Roll a d20 for an Arcana check to determine how effective the ratnado is in crippling the Disney Corporation's ships and providing an opening for escape. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. You rolled 5. With a roll of 5, the ratnado spell manifests, but it doesn't quite have the impact Steamboat Willie intended. The swirling mass of water and rats is less concentrated, scattering some rats onto the decks of the enemy ships, causing minor distractions and discomfort rather than the mass chaos he hoped for. The crews of the Disney Corporation's ships manage to fend off the disoriented rodents, though it buys Willie and his crew a few crucial moments. Some enemy sailors are too busy dealing with the unexpected rat infestation to maintain their assault, and the ratnado has at least served to sow confusion and delay their pursuit. Willie knows he must capitalize on this opportunity. He can either attempt another spell to further hinder the enemy or use this chance to make a strategic retreat and navigate the HMS Hihigosh towards safety. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Base Ape has been chosen. Stick Minnie's fat ass in the cannon and blast her at the ship. Steamboat Willie, despite his desperate situation and chaotic tendencies, knows that the safety and well-being of Minnie Mouse is paramount. He wouldn't dream of putting her in harm's way, and certainly not in such a dangerous and undignified manner. Instead, Willie looks to Minnie, a plan forming in his mind that will keep her safe and turn the tide of battle. Minnie, I need your smarts. Help me load the cannons with whatever we can find. We need to give Em a real surprise, he says with a determined look. Minnie nods, understanding the urgency. Together, they rally the crew, loading the cannons with a mix of traditional cannonballs and whatever oddities they can muster that might serve to further confuse and damage the enemy ships. As the cannons roar once more, Steamboat Willie and his band of rebels fight not just for their own freedom, but for the spirit of adventure that unites them. Roll a d20 for an attack roll to determine how effective the newly loaded cannons are against the Disney Corporation's fleet. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. You rolled 10. With a roll of 10, the cannons fire, and the projectiles hurled at the Disney Corporation's ships hit with moderate success. The odd assortment of ammunition clatters against the enemy hulls, causing some minor damage and disarray but nothing catastrophic. The enemy crews are kept busy with repairs, allowing the HMS Hihigosh to put some distance between them. However, the Disney Corporation's fleet is relentless and continues to give chase, though now with a bit more caution, wary of Steamboat Willie's unpredictable tactics. Willie, seeing that a prolonged fight might not be in their favor, decides that it's time to make a strategic move. He could use his spellcasting to conjure up a thick fog to cover their escape or attempt a risky maneuver to navigate through dangerous waters, hoping the enemy would be less willing to follow. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Sharky has been chosen. Cast a spell to summon many more ships full of public domain cartoons. List the cartoons summoned as we overwhelm them with numbers. Steamboat Willie, tapping into the whimsical and wild magic at his disposal, conjures an incantation to call forth allies from the realms of imagination. With a wave of his wand, the sea around them begins to roil and churn as spectral ships emerge, their sails billowing with the winds of creation. From the mist, a fleet of public domain vessels appears, each bearing the flag of iconic cartoons known to all. Amongst them sail 1. The SS Crazy Cat, with its mischievous crew of comical felines and canines. 2. The Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, helmed by the eponymous character and his band of merry toons. 3. The Betty Boop, a ship as sassy and bold as its namesake, crewed by her animated friends. 4. The Felix the Cat, where the clever feline and his magical bag of tricks stand ready to outsmart any foe. 5. The Little Nemo, a ship of dreams, its crew skilled in the art of oniric warfare. As these ships and their cartoon crews join the fray, the Disney Corporation's fleet is taken aback by the sudden onslaught of numbers, the waters now teeming with vessels ready to defend Steamboat Willie and the HMS Hihi-Gauche. Roll a d20 for a conjuration check to determine the effectiveness of your summoned fleet in turning the tide of this nautical battle. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. You rolled 6. With a roll of 6, the summoned fleet of public domain cartoon ships flickers into existence, their form somewhat translucent and less substantial than Willie had hoped. The illusion is clever and momentarily causes the Disney Corporation's ships to hesitate, unsure of the nature of these new opponents. However, the enemy soon realizes that these spectral ships pose no real threat and are simply figments of Willie's magic. Although the summoned fleet doesn't provide the overwhelming force he intended, it does buy the HMS Hihi-Gauche a brief respite as the Disney ships regroup and assess this unexpected turn of events. Willie understands that his ruse will only hold their attention for so long. He must now decide on his next course of action, either to use this moment to escape into the concealing fog or to prepare another spell that could potentially hinder the pursuit more effectively. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Kaiser Carter has been chosen. Yell, I cast Fat Fuck You Whale, then summon a large whale that looks a lot like Minnie and have it attack the ships. Steamboat Willie, with a flourish of his wand and a mischievous sparkle in his eye, lets out a bellowing call across the waves, I cast Fat Whale. Drawing upon the magic of the sea and the essence of its largest denizens, Willie channels his energy into the summoning of a grand and imposing whale, a leviathan of the deep that bears a coincidental resemblance to Minnie in its form and might. The ocean stirs as the colossal creature breaches the surface, sending a massive wave crashing against the Disney Corporation's fleet. The ships rock violently in the wake of the whale's arrival, sailors scrambling to maintain their footing. Roll a d20 for a summoning check to determine how effectively the whale disrupts the enemy ships and aids in your escape. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. You rolled 13. With a roll of 13, the whale summoned by Steamboat Willie proves to be an imposing force. As it rises from the depths, its sheer size and the power of its splash send waves that buffet the Disney Corporation's ships, forcing them to steer wide to avoid collision. The whale's presence causes a momentary chaos on the enemy decks. Sailors and captains alike are caught off guard, and their formation breaks as they attempt to navigate the turbulent waters created by the Leviathan. Willie seizes this opportunity, barking orders to his crew to capitalize on the disruption. Full sail, let's ride these waves to freedom, he shouts, the HMS Hihi-Gauche pushing forward with renewed vigor. The ship gains distance, the whale providing a distraction that allows them to slip further away from the clutches of their pursuers. Minnie takes the helm, her determination as clear as the path ahead, while Willie prepares for any further interventions that may be necessary. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Little Green Martian has been chosen. Say to Disney, that's what happens when you hire Lizzo for a concert. Steamboat Willie, ever the character, can't help but let out a triumphant taunt as the HMS Hihigosh gains ground on the Disney Corporation's fleet. He cups his hands to his mouth, yelling back at the ships with a laugh, that's what happens when you hire Lizzo for a concert. His jest carries over the water, and though the enemy can't quite make out his words, the tone of his mockery is unmistakable. Willie's crew chuckles, the levity a welcome relief amid the tension of their escape. With the Disney Corporation's ship still recovering from the whale's assault, Willie and his crew press on, the freedom of the open sea just within the grasp. The HMS Hihigosh sails swiftly, bolstered by the wind and the courage of her crew. Now, with a bit of distance between them and their pursuers, Willie has a decision to make. Does he push the ship to her limits to escape, or does he ready another spell, just in case the Disney Corporation manages to close the gap? Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Not a bobcat has been chosen. Tell them their father is a hamster and their mother smells of elderberries. Cast spells at the enemy ships at random. Channeling his inner mischief maker, Steamboat Willie leans on the railing of the HMS Hihigosh and shouts across the water with a roguish grin, your father was a hamster, and your mother smelled of elderberries. His words, nonsensical and defiant, serve as a taunt to further rile the Disney Corporation's crew. The absurdity of the insult is amplified by its sheer unexpectedness, causing a ripple of confusion among the enemy sailors. Willie then turns to the task at hand, his wand at the ready. He begins to cast spells in rapid succession, each one a random choice from his arsenal, designed to create chaos and hinder the enemy's advance. A burst of light here, a gust of wind there, his spells are as unpredictable as the sea itself. Roll a d20 for a spellcasting check to determine the effectiveness of Willie's barrage of random spells against the Disney Corporation's fleet. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. You rolled 17. With a roll of 17, Steamboat Willie expertly channels his spellcasting abilities, sending a flurry of random yet powerful spells cascading towards the Disney Corporation's fleet. Bolts of energy arc through the air, gusts of wind howl across the sea, and flashes of light temporarily blind the enemy sailors. The spells wreak havoc on the enemy ships, some spells causing the ropes to tangle, others making the deck slick with frost. The confusion is palpable as the Disney Corporation's crew scrambles to maintain control of their vessels amidst the magical onslaught. The effectiveness of Willy's spells buys the HMS Hikigosh precious time, and the distance between them and their pursuers increases. With the wind in their sails and determination in their hearts, Willy, Minnie, and the crew make a bold dash for the horizon, the threat of the Disney Corporation slowly fading into the mist behind them. Tag at 48 Chronicles in the YouTube live chat to choose what the character should do next. Maureen Peters has been chosen. Throw Minnie overboard to feed to the sea, it needs the energy. Steamboat Willy's affection for Minnie runs too deep, and his moral compass, though often spinning wildly, doesn't point towards such dark deeds. Throwing Minnie overboard is not an option he would entertain, not even as a jest in his most chaotic moments. Instead, Willy looks over at Minnie, who's been steadfastly navigating them through the rough seas, and offers a grateful nod. Your steering is true, Minnie. The sea's got enough to contend with without us adding to it, he says with a wink. Minnie gives Willy a knowing smile, appreciating his odd sense of humor and the underlying warmth. Together, they focus on the journey ahead, the HMS Hikigosh courageously cutting through the waves as they leave the dangers behind. With the Disney Corporation's ships now a distant concern, Willy and Minnie's thoughts turn to the future and the life of freedom they are sailing towards, a life far from the reach of those who would seek to control them. And as the HMS Hikigosh sails into the sunrise of a new day, our story of high seas adventure and daring escapades draws to a close. Steamboat Willy and Minnie Mouse have found their happily ever after in the boundless possibilities of the open sea. Thank you for playing, and may your own adventures be just as grand. As Steamboat Willy gently docks in the moonlit harbor of Toonies, you stand at the helm with Minnie at your side, the last vestiges of the Disney Corporation's influence fading like a bad dream. The city lights twinkle with promise, and the sea behind whispers of the adventures you've left in her waves. You and Minnie step off the boat, hand in hand, ready to begin a new chapter of your lives, away from the tumultuous tides of prohibition and the shadows of the night. The journey you've embarked on has come to a close, but the tales of your daring escapades will live on in the hushed tones of speakeasies and the ballads of seafaring folk. Your story may be finished, but the legacy of what you've accomplished will ripple through Toonies for years to come. To all who have joined in this adventure, your presence has made the seas that much more navigable and the nights less daunting. If you've enjoyed this journey and wish to support games like these, please consider supporting through Patreon. Your contributions help with the cost of running the game and ensure that many more adventures can be had. Don't forget to support the channel by liking, subscribing, and signing up to our partner 11 Labs, with the link available in the video description. Share the channel with friends and communities you're a part of so we can grow and bring even more thrilling escapades to life. Lastly, join our Discord server, also linked in the description, to become part of our vibrant community. May your dice roll true, and your stories be ever grand. Thank you for playing, and until next time, may your adventures be many and your tales be unforgettable.